Hey everyone, what is going on? I could not be more pumped right now. We're playing some NHL 19 beta, some ones. I've done a few games so far, and I gotta say I'm having a lot of fun here. So I thought I'd start recording. Hopefully get a few good matches here. Just kind of explore the game a little bit more. I've learned a little bit already. Um, I haven't played any drop-ins yet. I've been kind of waiting for my buddies to get on to try that out. But yeah, it's a lot to talk about here. I mean, this one's kind of been hyped up here for a little bit compared to last year's, mainly due to the skating, the revamped skating engine. And I gotta say, I'm impressed. It feels good. It feels a little more similar to real hockey than in years past. Just the movements. I think the speed of the way they turn is a little fast, but just in the sheer way that they move feels better. The way that they cut, the way that they kind of lean into the turns, like it looks and feels real. Um, but yeah, that's I mean, and it's still going to take some getting used to, compared to years past. But so far, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's an improvement. Wow, we're down 1-0 here already. I was so pumped to play this. I didn't even change the handness of my guy. I normally shoot left. I shoot left in real life, so it's just easier for me. But I was just so pumped to get in that I got my trademark beard in. Oh, here we go. Hey, sick. Between the legs goal still works. Nice to see that. Yeah, I got my Audric's trademark beard in. Try it again. Ah, damn. And yeah, I didn't even change the handness of my guy. I'm going to explore a little more into the world of Chell feature there once I get going. But that also seems really cool so far. But yeah, the skating. Back to the skating. In comparison to years past, like it feels like it's going to be easier to just do left to right movements to get around people. The way you kind of flow through the skating now. Years past, it feels like you almost have to deke or do something special to get around players sometimes. But now it seems like just with the left-right movements, you're able to do that. Holding the puck protect really helps with that too. You can kind of lead people the opposite way and turn back the other way. I've noted, like, yeah, kind of right there. I'm doing it there a little bit. Oh, we're up 3-1. I guess the next thing we could really talk about is yeah, the world of shell features. Very interesting stuff. Like it's so not like anything we've seen really before in Chell. It almost feels like and I hate to say it because I'm not a big fan of the series, like a COD system where you have your hockey bags where you'd have your supply drops in COD, where you get various different things. I to be honest, I haven't fully seen what all you can get yet as far as rewards in those bags. I've seen some of it be gear, which is really cool. Different sticks, equipment, your parkas, your clothes, your goalie gear, that sort of stuff. I haven't noticed if there's any sort of attribute bonuses you get from that stuff yet, but yeah, I mean it's all really cool. The parka thing is really cool, like having different these outdoor clothes here we're wearing now. That's pretty awesome. I would say probably that I guess what I've seen in other videos that there's been some complaints so far about how in drop-in games you can have these parka clothes on, and you can have one team basically be wearing all dark, or because you can design your character any way you want. You can have basically 6 players with more darker clothes. So it's kind of hard to tell who your teammates are sometimes. That's one of the complaints I've read, although I haven't, like I said, I haven't played any drop-in actual games yet or anything, so I'm not quite used to that. But that's one of those things too. I think once you play more, and if you coordinate, if you're in a club, you kind of coordinate colors with your team. That maybe that would be a problem going forward. Yeah. Beyond that, the other aspect that I mean I'm such a huge fan of so far is the fact that you can, we're going back to 14, 13, 14, where you can kind of customize your character a little more, make him a little more unique to your style. Not in the same way where you actually adjust each attribute to your liking, but now it's you can adjust your players. I mean, not only do you have like your what we've seen the last few years where you pick your class, but you can adjust your players' height, weight, and that affects, of course, multiple different stats or different attributes. So that part's really nice. I typically play as a power forward, but one thing in power forward in the past is I always feel the skating's just a tad slow for me. I don't mind because I like it anyway because I like to be able to hit, and I find they protect the puck well, and their shooting and passing is still pretty good. But I just felt like they were a tad slow. So now, if I so choose, I can decrease, the height, the weight of my player and make him accelerate a little more. I might lose in some of the other stat attributes, but it at least now I'll be able to, if I so choose, I can have a speedier character. And the other really nice thing about that too is you can have different loadouts for your character. So I could have 3 different power forwards with 3 different attribute sets. I can make one guy like 6'7" and 260 if I want to. I haven't tested that out yet. I probably will just to see how it feels. Or I could go the other way and make him a smaller power forward. I don't know what the benefit would that be either. But anyway, it's kind of whatever you want. On top of that, then we have I don't even know what you call them yet, but like your power ups. So every player looks like they get 3 sort of attribute bonuses. I haven't, again, it's not something I've viewed full on yet, but it seems really interesting. I've noticed like the slap shot one, for example, gives you like plus whatever it is, 3 or 4 to your slap shot accuracy and speed, but decreases from your wrist shot. So you get a little, but you give a little too. So again, it just kind of further customizes your character to how you want to play. The one I really like is the one-timer one. Helps decrease your one-timers. I like taking one-timers a lot in club. In club my team would kind of set each other up for one-timers fairly often. So that's something that would benefit me. But I really hope to explore some more into that as we get going, and find out what works best for me. I'm really curious to see a couple things I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen how goalies are this year. I know there's always people who regularly play goalie in EASHL. There's always some sort of complaint. 17, I remember it was the sort of big left to right swing movement from the shooter. You slide over a little bit and the puck would go glove side. It seemed like almost every time. Goalie started to adjust to that as the time went on, but it was something that was annoying. It was like, well, you shouldn't get punished for chasing the shooter, like where he's going. Nice empty netter there. Last year it kind of just felt like, I don't know, and this is as far as goalies go, it seems like it would just be a lot of bad bounces. Like you play a game, I found it hard to get shutouts because it just seemed like no matter what, there was some sort of a weird, awkward bounce or defensemen skating in your own net. I mean that's always happened in EA games, but it was quite annoying. You'd get playing a good game, and 2 minutes left in the game, and your shutout gets broke because of just a weird, crazy bounce. That would have showed up in one of my EASHL games that I posted on here, where I scored a goal with a kicking motion from the goal line, basically on the boards, and it somehow finds its way in. Just weird stuff like that. But I'll be real curious to see going forward how the reaction of how goalies feel. If it feels closer to a really real goalie. It's like, I don't know. I guess it always kind of feels like I've felt in the past, like you're not in full control of your goalie. It's not real time movements, or not. He might do something that is unexpected or that you don't want him to do. So yeah, hopefully that's improved. We'll see. We'll see once we. That's been something on my wish list there for a while. Hopefully that's better. But yeah, this ones thing. So we'll talk about the ones here a little bit too. I mean, this ones thing is pretty. I think it's really cool. It's funny though, because people kind of advertising it as like a new feature, and really it's kind of not. If you play in NHL games as long as I have, going back to '93, when I was quite young. I remember in 2005 there was a version like this where you only played to the blue lines. You'd play against computers. I don't believe there was an option to play online then. But it was very much like this, where it was just like a one-on-one, or you could have a teammate out there or something where it's like first to 5 goals or something. So I mean, this isn't exactly new in that sense, but I mean, the fact that you can have 3 different human players out there battling against each other is really cool. It's more of a fun arcadey thing than anything. I think kind of you can work on your skills a little bit, in terms of especially with this new skating. I think it's important learning to turn, learning the dekes, being able to work the dekes into where they're actually beneficial to your play style, and getting used to this energy bar thing too. That's taken a little bit of getting used to for me, I gotta say. You have to manage your what you're doing now. You can't just basically go full speed, hammer down in the speed burst the whole time. I missed that between the legs there. It's a little different. You have to manage yourself a little bit more. And one of the strategies I found early on playing those ones is, if you see 2 guys going in the corner, you just hang back. Stand still for a bit, gain some energy, see what happens, and then kind of pounce in, and maybe steal the puck after they've hit each other, and you end up getting an easy breakaway. It's a lot of like opportunistic sort of thing, I find, is what's beneficial for ones here so far. But managing your energy is really important. I have none right now. So, and actually one thing I really like, so if I were to get nailed right now, it takes me longer to get up because my energy's so low. So that's kind of a cool thing. It makes sense. You're dead tired, you get knocked out. You got to be careful with that stuff, obviously. Like right now, I do not want to be going into a corner with the puck. Like, I'll probably get hit, and it'll be a while before I can get up again. So yeah, we'll try to get some energy back here. It's interesting because at the same time, like in a game like this, where it was, this one here, pretty damn tight of a game. You don't want to manage too much, because then you might get burnt and get scored on, and then we would have had a tie game, had to go to overtime or something. But yeah, 1-0 game. That's the lowest scoring I've seen yet. But cool, I'll take it. Promoted to tier 1 too. Cool. So I think that means if I win, there's a trophy involved. I think I saw. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. So the energy thing. Yeah. So the energy bar too. One thing I'd like to know, I haven't noticed yet, is if it affects your shot power. That'd be kind of really interesting to know if that is a feature or not. I think it should. If it doesn't, obviously if you're tired, you can't take a harder shot. I know in real hockey, by the end of the game, your shot power is typically a lot less than what it was at the start of the game. So I feel like it should be for this too, but I'm not sure if it is. The other thing I've probably noticed is so far, and again, just a few things. So like, there has been a few glitches in the game. Here's one right here. Wow. So this happened in like the second ones game I played, where this screen was kind of just stuck on, with like the loading startup screen or whatever, where all the names are just here and they don't go away for the whole game. So that's kind of annoying. I mean, you get used to it, I guess, pretty quick. So hopefully that's something that's fixed for the regular game. I don't know if that's just a beta issue or not, but the other thing I noticed, which kind of, for my eyes, seemed a little strange, is, so like I've noticed some, obviously some people here have played around with the height and weight of players. You know, I've seen some guys that are like, they'll make them max height like 6'7", probably, you know, quite heavy in weight, but it's like their stature is still the same size of a guy that's, you know, 6 feet or whatever. It's like there's no, I mean, you see the height difference, but you don't. It's almost like you don't see the weight difference. It's like they're still the same width, or they're still sort of the same stature as a guy who's, you know, a guy's 165 versus a guy that's 265. So that's a little weird to my eyes, seeing that. Like, I expect, you know, a big 250-pound guy to look, you know, like a monster, like a much bigger guy than, not just taller than, you know, a guy that's 165 and, you know, 5'7". So that's something, hopefully, that gets adjusted. And the other thing too, I've seen people complain about this. I'm doing some read-ups about the lighting, like on the skin tone and stuff. So I think that one there is an easy fix. They'll probably have that one adjusted by the time this one comes out. But I know what they mean. Like, you look at the skin tone of some players, and it is quite darker than what it probably should be. I also noticed the lighting on, like, you know, some of the jerseys, like the way they kind of reflect and shadow, and that seems a little bit off too. Again, minor tweaks. Like, for me, I'm more concerned about gameplay and features and whatnot than that sort of stuff, you know. But I'm sure they'll take care and fix that as well. The other big major thing, I guess everyone is kind of talking about right now, is the poke checks. Everyone's saying in regular games the poke checks are just, you know, spawning penalties left, right, and center. I've read, you know, someone saying upwards, you know, they played a full game and there was over 20 penalties, all tripping from poke checks. I don't know. I have not tested that out. In this mode here, it doesn't really seem to affect it, the poke checks, because, I mean, I guess there's no penalty. It's just a free-for-all thing. So we'll see once I get in there how good or bad I feel that is. But I've read a lot on this poke check thing, and it seems like the consensus is there's a lot of people that like the fact that you have to be more timely with your poke checks now for it to be effective. You know, you can't really spam poke check anymore, but you have to time it, so you can't. I lost that game. So there's the trophy. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that actually means anything, or if you'll get a trophy or achievement for that, but hopefully I can win one. Anyway, it's a cool looking trophy. Yeah, the poke check thing. So I don't know if it really is overpowered or not, or just people are just so used to years past where, you know, one thing that always used to annoy me, especially in 18, was you'd be skating along, someone would be behind you and poke check, and you'd lose the puck, and it's like, that realistically makes no sense whatsoever. You know, you shouldn't be able to be behind, you know, a foot behind someone and poke check and for them to lose the puck. It doesn't work that way. Like, your reach isn't that far, you know, and even if you can reach that far, are you really going to be strong enough, you know, lunging forward to poke the puck off someone? Like, probably not. So that was always one thing that bugged me, but apparently people are saying you cannot do that anymore. If you poke check from behind, it's basically an automatic penalty. So I could see that getting quite annoying. I don't know if it's really that bad as people are saying it is, but I mean, if it is, maybe that's something that could be adjusted. Who knows? Maybe it's just more about timing now than it ever was before. This is also another glitch I've read where like what's happening right here, three people sign up for a ones game and only 2 end up in it. So I guess it makes it easier to win, but still, that's a bit of a glitch. But anyway, back to the poke check thing. I don't know if I feel like if it's the way people are saying it is so far, it should be maybe the poke check is less effective, in terms of getting the puck off. So like if you're behind and poke checking, you shouldn't get the puck off. But it shouldn't always necessarily mean a penalty. So it's almost like the adjustment that, based off what I've been reading, that should be made is that the poke checks basically just don't lead to as many tripping penalties. The effectiveness of them can stay where it is, or less effective, basically less effective than they were last year or years prior, but just not as resulting as many of penalties. Because that can get quite annoying. That disrupts the flow of the game. There's definitely going to be a learning curve if they don't adjust that for everyone. People are saying hitting is more effective now. If you're in the corner with someone, it's better to go for a hit now rather than go for the poke check. So that could completely change the game, and I guess it would kind of promote their new sort of hitting engine here too. The hitting engine, a good segue into that. The hitting engine I actually like a lot, though. It seems to feel a little more real. They're not so not as stagnant as they were in 18. Not that I ever thought the hits were that bad, or one thing that always annoyed me. That was a nice move. Oh, he deserved that goal. One thing that always annoyed me was if you timed a hit really well and it was a nice good hit, the puck gets lost in their body, and then I burned a man that one. The puck gets lost in their body, you don't pick it up, they get back up and skate along like nothing ever happened. That's one thing that always bothered me about hitting. It's like if you get hit with the puck, you should be losing the puck. It should no longer be your puck. There should be no possibility really of you getting up and skating away with it again. So far what I've seen from my few games here in ones is that that's not the case. So like if you get hit, the puck's not yours anymore. There's been maybe a couple instances where in the top left or right corner here, when you're battling right on the blue line, the puck kind of gets stuck in there. That I've noticed, like after you get hit. But other than that, you get hit anywhere else, you're losing the puck. That's I think that's about all I'll touch on here. I definitely want to go in and play some drop-ins here and get used to this more. I got to change my stick to left-handedness, but I just wanted to touch on a few things, play a few games, have some fun, see how it feels. And I cannot wait for 19 to come out. I will be playing it first day and hopefully get some videos up here right away with some more features and more gameplay. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, everyone, and go play some ones.